All right, what's up, my surrealists? Welcome back to the Strat Chat. We've got Game 5 on our hands of BLG PSG. This is a game that not many people expected to go to Game 5 or to be much of a contest, except this guy. Mostly because BLG is so good that their eyes were set on T1, and we called this a trap game. We said that they'll probably be able to pull through, where they've had a couple of missteps here, especially when it comes to how the enemy team lane swaps. And that's been one of the issues going into this game, is that PSG has been playing that super high tempo that we absolutely love. And you know, I can't reiterate enough how happy I am that this is finally becoming the meta. It should have always been the meta. Moving, fast, tempo, always about making proactive plays and getting to the next source of tempo generation and just keeping the pressure on. And when your team's ready, you reset, you boom, you do it again. It's not just about the opening laning phase, although these teams have made it mostly about that. There's plenty of other opportunities to do this even better. So one of the things that we want to look at for this game is, can BLG adapt for the rest of this game? We see this Nico. If you don't remember, Knight was inspired by Caps' Nico. Caps absolutely destroyed Yagao at the World Championship last year by just constantly triggering that mental stack and forcing him to come up with as many answers, or basically asking as many questions as possible. Am I this champion? Am I that? Am I a minion? Just, you constantly make them think about that, and you're constantly using every trick at Nico's disposal, and then it desensitizes your opponent, and then you can make more and more plays. And by the end of it, Yagao is just like, no mas, I can't handle it. So I'm excited to see Knight on Nico because he picked that up. And then we want to see these answers. We have seen Bin sort of react poorly on Vayne, trying to pick Vayne into K'Sante as an answer and saying, hey, we want to play this and go into natural lanes, and we want to try to avoid, let's just farm a lot, not realizing how much they would get punished by good rotations, and PSG's been doing that. So you saw the early wards, you see them spot out the early shifts. That's okay with them because they've picked Ashe Varus to completely steamroll this bot lane. They're going to try to get as much gold on the hands of Elk and On right here, Varus in particular, trying to get him as many plates as possible, and they may even get ready for a dive. So this will be first adaptation. We see the 3-minute mark. We've got the cannon that has already come in. We're going to see a defense with a teleport. We should see a drop of aggro, but they actually shouldn't take an extra hit there. So would have liked to see that a little bit better. This is one of the answers we've seen from Senna Tahm Kench, is that Tahm Kench can bring teleport and be ready to defend in these situations. Now what you're going to see is Aji's going to trade some of his HP for CS. He's going to come in and he's going to go ahead and feel good about grabbing the CS, not really care that he's taking damage because he's taking a recall anyways. One of the issues that can come is that does mean that you're going to spend a little bit longer coming out of base, and that second that you lose staying in base might be the same minion that you just tried to share and get, you might not get in the next wave. So generally not a strategy that I advise unless it's not changing your recall timer and triggers for coming back out. That's something that you want to work together as with your jungler and as a team to try to mitigate how much you lose on these resets and repositions. You see him coming, teleporting to top wave and picking up a wave that's crashing in. And he's going to start trading with the K'Sante, and you notice that he's doing it while the wave is pushing in. So you're hoping to zone the K'Sante away from the minions, but you see it's still not enough to stop him from getting level 5. Bin steps up during the trade to get his level up timer, and you see that he's super happy to continue this trade with the minion wave coming. That forces Aji back. So very nice mastery from both of these guys. They're playing that to the limit. Udyr trying the most possible to zone him off of this. I'd like to see him be careful about this, right? Yeah, you want to make sure that the storm's not connecting with the minion wave. All right, here we go. No flash, no ghost. It is Udyr, exceptionally tanky, but you can't get away from the slow plus the Q3 combo. So nice punish there. I like to see this punishing the aggressive trading pattern. Udyr probably stepped a little bit too far that last time, right? Stepping ahead of the wave while it was closer to crashing. You were always going to be taking ranged aggro right there. So a little bit too aggressive from Aji, especially considering that you're 4 versus 5. Even though K'Sante is going to be lower level, that extra 110 HP plus the AD is going to be enough to be able to secure that kill. And really with no chance for a replay. Now, I might have expected to see a swap from both sides coming out of base here, right? You flip a coin. Game theory is going to say, essentially, you want to make it random. You want to have a better side of the map and a worse side of the map, and essentially do like a 65-35 or a 60-30 split with 10% mixed in of doing something else, where you reposition yourselves in the lane state you want. And Udyr dying right there would have been a perfect opportunity for Tahm Kench and Senna to go and reset and try to get themselves back into that lane state where they're avoiding the Ashe Varus. Although most of the threat from Ashe is gone once you get past that level 2 threshold. Level 1 and 2 is where she's truly oppressive. Varus gets a little bit stronger 3, 4, 5, but Ashe doesn't get that much better. You only get that W cooldown, which is something. You get to harass a little bit more, but your all-in pressure doesn't really change. Hold on, they went a little bit too far. Azir's coming close. You see the flash. We see good rotation. This is being done without Prio in mid lane. This is just first move from the Nico, and we see, again, asking for that added mental stack. Good job by Azir using fleet footwork on the Nico clone, something you guys can apply as well. Grasp, etc. Can even get your mana flow bans and the likes. Senna with the early boots, so I like seeing this, right? You have to try to mitigate the effect of Varus Ashe. We're probably going to see a first item Swifties here because of the amount of slows, right? We have 4 champions with slows on the enemy team, plus the Nico who's trying to combo off of those slows, so I expect to see Swifties, and there we go, there it is. Now Senna back on the map. You don't need to go back to Tahm Kench. Good rotation here. How are we answering up here? Udyr basically can't deal enough damage with the grasp. You're just going to keep on stacking up grasp and try to punish the K'Sante a bit. K'Sante, been stepping up a little bit too long, too far there. Wasn't really threatening the minion wave. You only really want to get in that position for the demolish proc and for the proxy on the wave. But with Viego and Senna coming out of base, you realize that he realizes that he has to step out. When you're watching these games, always watch it from the point of view of what do the champions actually see? What do the players see, right? Not do we see on the map, but every time that someone goes back to base, see how people react, right? How do the laners, especially the solo laners, react to 2 people disappearing off the map? Because in pro gameplay, that's your chance to make tempo plays. You can still be profitable, and you will be profitable by being proactive and making sure that your moves are more punishing than what they can do in anticipation, especially when they're left guessing. So let's see, Udyr, is he going to start hovering back in another direction? We have a freeze up in top lane, so he might feel like he wants to come take that, but honestly, this is an opportunity. With 130 left on the dragon timer, Udyr could come here, help to push mid lane, secure this area with the Azir, and they could help take the southern quadrant and then fight for the dragon, stop any amount of stacking against this team that's looking to snowball the early game with Ashe Varus. But instead he goes top, which means that you've basically given the K'Sante everything he wanted out of that freeze. It does end the freeze. You are going to be able to crash this wave in with 2 casts of the Phoenix stance. And here you see next punish. Level up timer. K'Sante's level 8 again. And Aji, this is what I'm talking about, right? You give him everything that he wanted. He got the XP lead. Slight mistake for there from Jun. Has to burn his flash in order to get that kill. But that's what I'm talking about. Aji on Udyr had an opportunity to take the top lane and say, okay, congratulations, you've set up a freeze. Your jungler is probably in a position where they'd like to be nearby. Nice job clearing the minions in the middle of all that heat. You give the K'Sante that, you say, okay, you're stuck here now. Now you don't even want to rotate, because if you teleport away, that wave will come in, crash, and it'll start rebounding, pushing back out towards me, and you'll give me the same situation that you're trying to hold for yourself. With an extra person mid, you'd be able to push that wave in completely uncontested. You'd be able to take over that half of the jungle and be ready for the dragon spawn that is now coming in 10 seconds. Basically, you'd paralyze your opponent top laner, your opposing top laner, and then you can say, all right, does that team really want to commit to the dragon? Are they going to burn a teleport now to come down here? That's fine. I will teleport back to the wave. I will crash it. I will let you guys have the dragon. We'll go push mid, reset on bot, take that turret, get the plates up in the top lane, and get the maximum for that, especially when you have two teleports available from Tahm Kench and Udyr. All right, BLG, 2-0 kills, 2.5K. We haven't seen the proactive play, and we saw the punt from Aji there. Probably spelling doom. We're gonna see BLG try to snowball as much as possible, which is why you see this rotation to the top lane, right? You see this 2v1. They're gonna try to collect as many plates as possible. This is something that we applaud China for more than any other region, just making these proactive plays, trying to get as much damage and threat as possible. Kasante's teleport is up. He importantly walked down to bot lane, said he could come here and teleport. This is Nico, it looks like. We'll see if Nico's pretending to be K'Sante. You can buy a little bit of extra time there. All right, decent defense here, but now they're actually stuck in here, and they're down on resources. K'Sante comes in as well. This could be a complete blowout. We might see the entire game end right here. China doing a good job juggling the aggro. Senna shield is not going to be enough from the base, or is it? No, they work on the turret. 6-0, 6K. You see what it's like when you can communicate a turret dive, and this is something that NA does not do well. EU does it okay, but when you can communicate, juggle aggro, and say, okay, reset, and you'll notice that they do a jab before the haymaker, right? So they come in with one. Here's the jab sequence. Jun is going to take 3 shots and step out. Then he's going to move. All right, Elk is going to come back in, take 1 shot, step out, consistently letting it reset. Every time that one person takes aggro is an opportunity for 4 or 5 people to hit with 2 or 3 spells on top of an auto attack, right? That is the process. That's how you go in. It goes from jab into 4 people jabbing at once, and then you go for the haymaker to finish it off. You tend to not see the like full reach knockout punch that could be punished. You just say jab, jab, fast, and then eventually it's just like playing on that what do you call it, the thing that just, the dongle that just hangs there, right? People just practicing their fast punches. It's just like this. You want to go in and you eventually make it matrix style, ba 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 ba. You get as many hits in that time frame that one person has created for your team. So that's really, really well done. Love to see it there. And really, it came at very little self-threat, right? They didn't put themselves at risk to create that situation, and you can see the amount of benefit that they got for it. Correct answer from PSG probably would have been to just let the play go, let the turret fall and move. You see them rotating up. You've made the decision that you want to stay away from Ashe Varus at level 6, so why are we making any play where we're teleporting to a lane with Udyr against Ashe Varus? Makes no sense. Now, one thing that we haven't talked about is damage types. Varus does have a little bit of magic damage coming in, but the rest of the team, apart from Nico, is going to be full physical damage. So there is a path where itemization like this with plated steel caps and the plate mail might be super, super effective. We also see Sunfire from Tahm Kench. Expect him to pick up a plate mail as well, if not a Bramble Vest, to try to mitigate some of the healing effects, but that is one of the least effective tanking items. It's more for people who want to present more threat. And on top of that, right, this is 144 CS 2-0 Nico, so it's not like you're even giving anything up. You have a threat that is well and truly farmed up and ready to carry this game, carrying 5 stacks on the Dark Harvest and a bounty on their head. So Nico is not going to be a slouch. Normally, what you'd like to do is you try to hold down that 1 AP threat against a team like this and say, all right, we can scale you. We've got Azir Senna and we've got 2 frontline tanks. We should be focusing on Nico, but this game they did nothing to that measure. It was just Azir and Nico trading farm, and nothing came of it. If Nico were held down, then we'd be looking at a situation where there's 1 AP threat that isn't much of a threat because, you know, hopefully you put them at 0 and 2 or 1 and 3 or something like this. Oh, flash in by Nico. That's quite nice. using that angle, using the sweeping lens. Again, just to deny a little bit of information. Yes, they can infer that you're still there. Yes, they may even have perfect information if they're fully cognizant of it, but every time you add to the mental stack, there's a chance that someone loses or makes a mistake in their computation, right? It's Mikhail Tal used to say in chess, I want to take my opponent down a deep, dark forest where the path only leads in and doesn't lead out, something like that, and basically makes it impossible for your opponent to calculate all of the different maneuvers and attacks that are going on. So you see how they don't even hit that ward right here. This ward has 3 HP on it. No one attacked it, because if you attack, you're giving them perfect information for that moment. Instead, it's sweeping lens, move on in, and that puts the Neeko in position to ult flash over the top. And this is going to be a very, very difficult game. The only person with a gold lead is the farming Tahm Kench compared to the support Ashe. So basically everybody's ahead, because Ashe is using more with her gold, right? She's got Bloodsong already. So like, she's completely fine on this economy. Even though she has less gold, she's effectively stronger than the Tahm Kench. 807k gold lead. Let's look at their ending technique. There is no world where they should lose this game. It is Viego Azir Senna, so if they don't press like it is their prerogative, then yes, there could be some mistakes. From PSG's point of view, you basically want to give up one lane, completely forfeit, and say, we're not going to contest, but we're going to keep on moving to force you to keep 2 people in one spot as often as possible. And wherever that strong position is, we're going to try to make proactive and aggressive plays, either a 4-1 split or a 3-2 split, to try to answer. One of the things that we've mentioned before in the past is that a 2-1-2 is the best way to stop a 1-3-1. If there's a team that's trying to split push against you and they're splitting up resources, best thing to do is go strong in 2 different lanes against them, with one person who can wave clear in the other. Azir fits that profile. Azir can also move decently quickly to the other lanes to make a play happen. So you try to make a 3-play and a 2-play, and you have to do it quickly enough that you end up getting shutdowns in 2 side lanes, but before you lose turrets respective to those, right? So each play in the side lane is probably going to cost you a turret in the mid lane, and turrets in the mid lane, you know, do spell disaster. They make it much more likely for your opponents to win the game. Breaking down mid is the most common path to owning the rest of the map. But if you can get a shutdown here and a shutdown there in exchange for these 2 turrets, then you have a chance. But as played right now, this is basically forfeiting, where you just stand off and you let them push in and you hope that they punt in some way without really making any effort to make them punt, right? You're not adding to their stack. You're not making anything more difficult for them. And there's basically no real way to come back from this game. You know, this is 99-1. You essentially would need someone to have severe issues or a big mental mistake. I like the idea here. PSG Maple, again, on Azir, trying to make a proactive play, and you say, let's bring in multiple members, see what we can do. But you have to connect there. And it has to be full pressure. And it sort of makes sense that based on the missed play, and then the corresponding answer from BLG to push mid immediately, there's not much that PSG can do in return, but you just get out of the defense, right? You can't defend that. You just get and try to be strong. See if you can axe these 2 turrets in response for these 2. Maybe you even have to give up the inhibitor in mid lane, but try to get some amount of gold and scaling back into your team, because just standing there and watching them push against you, there's nothing to it. All right, let's see. They already can't get the fastest game of the tournament, despite playing virtually perfectly. And you can see like how much, you know, a lane swap might do to that. But yeah, this is BLG's Baron to take. They have control of the area. Neeko's gonna hold tight. You've got Neeko that can always put the clone out. Look at that upfront damage. And just always threatening here. Maple's trying to get outer, and oh man, Neeko missed an auto attack there. He was going for the blast cone. trying to connect with that. They do end up getting the kill on Udyr. That was your last best chance to answer something, is to try to go in with the Baron debuffs with all the damage. You know, Baron's much stronger than it has been in the past. There is no world where they can stop the bleeding now. So we'll just look and admire the technique right here. Expect them to go for a mid push into an adjacent quadrant and then go for 2 lanes pushing at once, seeding in the other lane. Ash Arrow fishing from downtown gets the assist. Mid push goes. Because they get the kill, they might continue to push up here. Normally I'd like to see K'Sante fronting, or at least threatening to get a side lane push, but of course he's the one who's strongest alone in the side lane, and being 4v4, there's really no threat against this stack right now. Azir could try to stack in. I love the use of this control ward here. Saying we want to deny as much information up front as possible, even maximizing the use of shields right there. Very, very, very nicely done. Now K'Sante's brought up this wave. We've got a flanking position that we don't really need from either of the AD carries, although they do have long range ults. Ashe is not quite available yet. K'Sante's just fronting because he's enormous. Watch this. He shields the whole team while they try to engage. And while 4 people are being zoned, the K'Sante zones for himself, right? He's just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm way healthier than you. Oh, baby Knight. Doing his best Caps impression, maybe even better. And they don't even give up one on the return. What a showcase. This was a thorough stomp. That's a little bit disjointed. Knight going up for this wave. Gets the wave in, but this isn't really going to do anything for them. Perhaps getting greedy, saying, hey, look, guys, we can push top as well. But that would have been a mistake, right? You're much better off just saying, all right, we've got 2 inhibitors. We have a ton of gold. Let's go shop, and then we'll walk it in top lane. I'm actually surprised that Ben even used his ultimate there, right? If he just kept his tank stats alive, he probably would have been better off. Buttery smooth there from the Nico, going right onto the doorsteps of the base. Here's the right call. Don't even go top. You get the kill. This wasn't even a wayward Ash Arrow. This was just being out in front, no safe spot on the entire map for you. Everyone's up an item and a half on you, right? Like, there's just nothing you can do here. Try to get this scoop, kill the minion wave while you kill them, get a stacked turret aggro on everybody, but they just ignore it. They say, okay, yeah, we'll continue fighting. We're good. One person will drop the aggro, and we will continue to blow out. Biggest mistake you'd make there, right there, if you're a BLG, is trying to retreat and saying, oh my god, I'm nervous. There's only one person on your team that needs to be worried. The one with the turret on them. They sit, they can hold, and they can move back. And then you just say, I've got aggro. And that's it. Or you can even control it. If you're super in tune with everything, you just say, all right, I'm dropping out of aggro. Next person gets ready. I'll take it, right? So I'll drop out. Next person says, I'll hit them. And you go. You can't do it if you have burning effects. But these guys are good enough to put that together. And what a show. That was a fantastic game to watch. Not one of those exciting games, right? But I love watching those to see the expertise level. All right, we're going to continue our trek with Vayne, but one of the things that we want to do here is test out Navori Quick Blades. This is something that I'm not sure that they want to keep around, but they might not care. It's just another build. It's no big deal. By 3 items anyways. You know, Vayne's already a beast, but if I can go with a buttery smooth build path that includes Runon's Hurricane, has the extra speed from it, and then if it turns out that Navori is that good, which I think it is, then we might have a nice situation for ourselves where Vayne basically shuts off some of our weaknesses. The on-hit build is certainly going to be very strong. Terminus is such an insane item, and Bork, Runon's Terminus, Wits End, things like this, they have defensive modal itemization, so it makes her pretty flexible. The question is going to be which version and if there's ever a reason to do both. But the one thing we want to do right now is test whether or not this even works. We're just going to go here with, let's see, does it matter? Let's just go.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Suppose we don't want any extra hits going off. Okay, we'll do this and then we'll swap. We're just looking for one little poke of damage here.
Minions have spawned.
Last hit says 1. Oh, we got the minion hitting it. We don't want this. All right. Alright, so we've got 3-3-11 happening here. Okay. Alright, so 3-3-11. Okay, so it does work. It's not that much bigger, but it is more damage, right? Just gonna let this sit for a second. DPS is sitting in this 1200 range. Lethal tempo's kicked in. It's still growing a little bit. It should stop right now, though. All right, so we've got 1200 going up to 1300. Okay, this is suggesting to me that I don't want it. Let's see if we back it off. This is part of the process, right? Being obsessed over the small things and like trying to figure out these little bits, like can I gain an extra 100 damage here or there? Is it worth it at the expense of something else? All right, so we're sitting in that 540 to 550 range, growing up slowly. Now, the other thing that we haven't mentioned is what this does in the Q duration. That Navori Quickblades gives us that little bit of a cooldown window. Alright, so we're getting significantly more damage here from the Infinity Edge build. You can see the cooldowns jumping down. So basically halves the time of this Q cooldown. Now, as we level up, we don't care as much about that, right? We're going down to a 1.74 cooldown rather than 5.22. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right, so it's slightly off on that one, but I bet with Berserker Greaves, we're actually going to get this threshold in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. You can see my speed is definitely lacking here. This is something we absolutely want to warm up. But just having a general idea that you're going to get 3 attacks off is a fantastic leverage, right? So you can go here and be like, bop, bop. I know I'm going to get my proc. I can dash, move around, and get my extra hits and know that the cooldown's going to be back up. So I can go 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's always going to be back up for me to do a little bit of kiting. 1. So this is not full speed by any means, but it is my speed, right? And that's relevant. That's something to know about yourself, where you can try to improve and try to get that better. Now let's compare that. What do we have for damage? We had 688. No, that's not right. Just gonna let this sit here for a bit. Lethal Tempo's procced up. Phantom Dancer's procced up. We've got all this extra damage source coming out. 720, 730 range? Okay. Alright, let's check it out now. 720, 730 is what we're trying to beat. Now, Bork is not going to have as much effectiveness because of the hit point pool here. Why am I blind to Bork here? There it is. Alright, we'll let this go up a bit. Now, this is also no resistances, so you're not getting the mitigated effect from the Bork, but you're also not getting the amplification effects. You can see that this build is doing substantially more, actually, and it has some defensive capacities, plus the fact that it slows, so we may just be on the on-hit build anyways. And do we care about wave clear? Do we ever go something like this, where we take away that, and we go here to wave clear. So we do have a significant chunk of missing damage here, especially if we're talking about something tanky. I think this is going to come down to what sort of pace the game's going to go on, but you're doing this in a fight, right? If there's a lot of chunky people, Runon's Hurricane's going to help spread that damage out to a couple different targets. So I think sometimes we're going to want this, other times we may not. And certainly if we have this, and then, I mean, I guess it's tough to say whether or not I want this, right? The additional extra cooldowns on the Q is something, right? Not to mention on the Condemn, right? You might have self-peel twice in a fight as opposed to casting it just once. Right? Like this ability is never coming back up. Whereas if I'm... Whereas if I have Navori Quick Blades, it is, right? But even with this bid, with Runons... Right, like this is going to come back up. I'm going to have multiple Condemns in a fight. Functioning as intended, right? And longer cooldowns are going to have better gains off of this ability. It's interesting. I'm not sure. I think they're very close in builds, and probably if you have single target versus crit, the problem with the on-hit build can be that Bork gets resisted so much against the tanks, even though you're getting a lot of effectiveness. It's all physical damage, right? So they can shield that away. It also gives you the lifesteal. The other build has some more farming capacity to it. Let's try the last one I want to do is this. We don't have Essence Reaver. Sorry, if we have Essence Reaver, but we don't have Phantom Dancer. Now this one I am going to put the spells into play. And you can see that the cooldowns are actually matched right now, which lets me get this in. Alright, so with the Q, the DPS is around 930. Without it, we're actually doing totally fine here, right? This number's still going down, yeah. So let's see what it's settling down at. I'm gonna have to reiterate some of these. I should have been writing them down. That's significant. That is a lot of extra damage. At the utility of extra invisibilities in a team fight, tough to say. Tough to say. I really like Navori Quick Blades. You do lose a little bit of damage, you know, and this damage is going to be significantly resisted, right? We're not going to be dealing, the majority of the damage is going to come from Silver Bolts, not from the flat amounts, once we start dealing to the tanks. And this is the true damage, right? This is what we care about more than anything else. Alright. So here we go. Damage test. 3 items. You can see that Silver Bolts is still a huge chunk of what's going on, right? We've raised up the HP, but we've put on the resistances, and we're still getting huge chunks of damage from that source. Alright, still shrinking slightly. Was it really going to go all the way down to 400? There's no way, right? This is climbing back up slightly. Ideally, we'd leave this running for a few minutes or just do the math. But it's good to see the eyeball on the chunks of damage. And if we're looking at a full tank, full HP, you can see that the big chunk of damage is coming right there. And the fact that the ability damage is being amplified by Navori is going to be relevant. Essence Reaver is another one of those. It's going to keep you completely topped off on mana all game, and it's giving you the extra 20 ability haste, which combined with the Navori means that you're basically can have those smooth cooldowns all game, where you're going to have access to these, and you're going to be dodging around in fights. You can see how quick the spells come down. This is the best part of it, right? It's not just about the damage, and it does look like we're actually dealing damage, more damage than the Infinity Edge build would have, although it's pretty close on a tank. Plus we're doing some of the AoE, and now we're just going to have to compare this to the last one. The traditional build, as it were. This is significantly more damage to a tank right here, guys. Way more. And if your job is going to be to shred down a front line, then this is going to be the build. This is a lot more damage. Not a small number. What happens if we delay the Rage Blade? That's a pretty big chunk that we're missing, huh? I don't know if I like it, but that's another one of those things where having access to the utility, right? It's weird that the crit build is the one that has the utility. You have access to the Quicksilver, you have access to reduced cooldowns, you have improved mana. It's your staying power in a fight, but then we have to compare that to the on-hit build. And I really like that they are even close to comparable. This is clearly the most damage against this tanky target. Against the squishy target, not so much, right? The Bork's gonna have much less effectiveness. Silver Bolts have less effectiveness, right? So if we go over here again, we're comparing these two damage sources. This is with no resistances. We're getting a little bit more damage because of just the natural procs, not as much needed from this. This is 1,000 health and no resistance, which we could, you know, replicate it to make a little bit more real for in-game. This is more like your average AD carry support mage. This one that like 720 vicinity. Runon's obviously, you know, taking some of that damage and moving it around. Probably not going to be in a game where you have multiple people on different sides of that. It is a cheaper build as well. So we lose about 100 damage here. A little bit more, actually. This is still going down pretty quickly. Obviously, we're getting that damage back if we're hitting the 2 targets on the side. Okay, so we're kind of settling in at about 140 damage less, which is fairly significant. We already saw that was significantly less here. So definitely the damage build. The upsides to this, right? Extra move speed, the fact that we are going to have way more uptime on Condemn and Q in the fights, and the fact that we're dealing AoE damage. So there are pros and cons. The single target damage of the Bork build is obviously going to be the best. The farming ability of Runon's Hurricane is definitely going to be worth considering. I like that this is close to being a choice. Clearly the damage, if your role is front to back and your job is to chew through tanks, then the option is very clear. But if it's more assassins and you want to have a little bit more ability to stay invisible, to make sure that you're getting, well, especially that second condemn off and always being invisible with the Q, there's a little bit of discussion for it. But then again, with the crit build, you've got none of the extra resistances coming from it. It seems like the on hit is just going to be better, honestly. We've tried Navori with Kog'Maw is the other one that we want to take a peek at. This build is aiming for about that 28-minute mark. Okay, just for reference. That's why we're going to where we're going. Now we are going to damage check a couple different things here. First, we're going to go with both of these builds again on this champion. We'll do this one for the on-hit build, and we'll do this one for the crit build, so we can make it a little bit easier to see what's going on. Alright, so we can see 700 damage here, more or less. Let's try to get this. Let's take a look at the different stats. $228 and $133. Let's assume. Let's just go max damage for a second here. We didn't actually do Kraken Slayer last time, and we might have been missing out on all that extra damage. But again, this is just pure damage here. Nothing else coming out of this. $419.72, right? $419.72, big crits. Why do we have some of these 230? Oh, these are the extra Kraken Slayer procs. Oh, is Novori actually working with that as well? One, two, three. Just triggering as 804, right? 239. That's a big... Is it just me or is that bigger than it should be? Okay, significantly more damage. Again, the big difference being this part right here, just being able to turn this on, and by the time you can see the duration lasting right here, by the time it's down, it's back up. Now the question is any fight going to last this long where you need to have permanent uptime? Maybe not. Right? You're already getting 1, 2, 3, right? This is 8 seconds. Yeah. And on top of doing this, right? Okay, interesting. Interesting. We anticipate getting a significant amount of fill queue. No, we're going to be limit testing in normal. We don't want to care about the result of this game at all. We'll move it into the ranked queues once we feel a little bit more confident, especially this support Kog'Maw, which might become an answer at some point, right? If people are going to start playing champions like Rumble does have a better ultimate, a much better ultimate, although Kog'Maw has a very similar spell. Lower range, less flexibility. There's a lot of things that are worse about it, but it's totally fine as a support spell, very high base values. It's interesting. The AP build also, when you move into that territory, starts getting a lot of amplification from something like Spear of Shojin. You could go, I don't know if you want Spear. You probably just want to be in the support realm. Something like Rylai's and Burning and things like this. I believe we played this the other day. We were truly just like trying to push limits, so we died a ton. But I think we had the win in our hand. Yeah, Malignance, right? Of course, Malignance. Malignance as a support, long range application. You could hit Horizon Focus. A lot of extra adaptability right there. We'll hover it. We'll give them an opportunity to say no if they don't want it. Now, another thing, do we want to go Comet and try to win the lane phase like that, or do we want Dark Harvest and start stacking, especially since we're going to be kind of pushing to the limits here? Scorch is another one to consider, right? The spell for the poke, you're getting an extra 20 damage every 10 seconds compared to doing something like this, which would be the maximum amount of extra damage. The attack speed would be for the early game. There might be a world where you want Triumph. There might be a world where you want Presence of Mind. Cut down is kind of free for this champion. You can even go like this and go for attack speed to have the very most straight up damage to start the game. You go Treasure Hunter to try to scale that up right off the bat. This is going to be like true maximizing the potential of the passive, which feels kind of troll to say, but you know what? It's part of the adventure and we're looking for it. We are here for it. Ghosting. I don't know if the ghost applies to my passive. I assume it would. Have they done this yet? Nope. Kate Lux. All right, we're not going to let them poke us. We are going ham. Is it going to be Malignance build? I suppose it has to be. We don't have that much amplification for it, although some of Twitch's damage is magic and Syndra as well. So we can get into a siege, but the burn should be really nice. The Malignance burn. I'm going to go like this. I'm not sure. E is the poke at level 1. We can get 2 E's off by the time we're playing for level 2, but W would be the full all-in version. I think it would depend on whether or not we want to be just straight up fighting them right off the cuff. Dark Harvest from Lux. It's gonna be a Dark Harvest competition. Oh, how badly do I want to fight these guys? Like Dark Harvest badly? Probably not. We're gonna do this just to make sure that the econ stays high.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
Mana cost goes up, so this is going to be one of those abilities. Since there's no increase, no improvement to the ability to the cooldown, but there is a worse cost. This is one of those spells that you want to cast and then level up while it's midair to get the increased effect at the lower cost. This is something that's true about Ahri, Kog'maw, a couple other champions. Any spell in the game that, you know, if you're playing 3 champions like you should be for climbing purposes, you should know your cooldowns. You should know which spells are ones that you want to level up first, which ones you want to hold and keep in the chamber. I'm going to lead off with my Ignite early to try to prevent any amount of healing potions that come out, and then hopefully the Twitch gets the reset off of that. But the question is whether or not we're looking for a trap or just straight up all in. That's her flash down. She's already dead. We'll be back on the map in no time. Honestly, I shouldn't have even used a potion. I mean, maybe I should have, could have. Also, thought I had flash right there. So that's one of the things I need to do for myself is get ready for what could be happening. Just dodge this one spell. That's all you need to do. You've got minions. You win this. Like by a lot, you win this. Just don't let her poke you. Literally just go in right now. You do not need to care. Go. Go. Got you. Don't got you. I'm gonna try to get this Twitch to kill. We'll kill with the passive here. 2, 2, 2. It's close. Yes! You can't say that this isn't fun, guys. Like, this is insanely fun, right? Alright, we're gonna go out of base with Sork Shoes. Yeah, Sork Shoes. Sork Shoes, not ideal for the true damage here, but it should be enough with the extra sources of magic damage. That's the other thing we forgot to check out, was whether or not to have Sork Shoes ever. Because if AP Kaisa is viable, and that's the like plan that you should take as a Kaisa player in most games, is to go into that poke route, then that should be true about Kog'Maw as well. I missed. Oops. That guy might die to the poison. Yep, there we go. That's what we wanted. Dark Harvest stack is online. We're just going to keep it coming, guys. We are stacking up this Dark Harvest aggressively. Another option for this sort of lane is Karthus. We have our Ignites back up, so this window is important to know. Kog'Maw, or Kate's petrified here. She's trying to recall. She'll be gone in 5, 4. Just going to have to kill a few of these. Keep this off of our turret. Alright, there's her shield down. Now I'm going to step up. Heals up, flashes down. Okay, they both have to leave. That is heal down. I think we're going to be okay with that. We're going to continue the pressure, guys. Continuing this pressure. Ideally, I'm not the one getting kills. Ideally, we're giving it all to Twitch, and he is 2-1 with the magic damage build, by the way, so Malignance is going to have some extra effect. Ideal situation for us. Twitch gets... Nope, Syndra got it. But Twitch gets the assists. Great. Oh, we got Kate to stay. That's so good for us. What is she doing? What is she doing? Why did she stay, guys? Why did she stay? You can't say this isn't hilarious, guys. This is too good. You know, and there's room for improvement. And the big benefactor here, look who the big benefactor is. Look who's losing out the most. And there's obviously things that can be done better, right? People are making mistakes. There's no preparation here. There's a lot of things that we can try to maximize. They're probably, nope, they're not warding. They went straight for this, which means Twitch is going to get another kill here. She's going to come ward now. She's too late. I got you again, Lux. And now Kate's chunked. All right, there's a Lux flash. All right, she does not have Cosmic, so that is 1310. Twitch should be looking for this. He is. Oh, that's her spells down. She's dead. Oh, he tried the wrong thing. There we go. Just R first. Just R first. He doesn't got it. He doesn't got it. He didn't realize that there's more threat here. Wait. He's gonna get away. I should have led with this. Oh no. This is a free death. This is no good. This is no good. I want to try to not hit the minions here. Another question is whether or not to lead off with something like Shadow Flame. Shadow Flame does hit true damage, right? Magic and true damage deals 20% increased damage. Lux is here. Do we have Kate's cooldowns? Kate's flash must still be up now.
An ally has been slain.
Tried to give it. Saus is coming. What a numbnut. Why would he do this? Oh, why would she miss though? Alright, we're gonna go all the way and chase this guy so that he can't recall. Got you. Oh, he's got the heal. Oh, he's got us? No. It wasn't enough. But you know what? That delays us back. You know, a little bit of copium right there. We can live with this. What did we say was next? Horizon focus? No. I mean, I think it's Hextech Alternator, and I need to start transitioning out of the inting mode into more of the poking mode. Now that I have Malignance, I think I can do that. This is a lot of damage, folks. There's a lot of damage. This is the wrong path. You always want to take this one. Alright, Caitlyn's gotten a little bit bigger with these last couple of series of trades. We can do a little bit better with this. Here we go, that guy's dead. Alright, so we're going to start training everything on the Kate now. Try to get her out of this part. You know, this is the weakest part of her game relative to the field. Lee Sin's on top side. Alright, we're going to start pathing here then. We've got mid push already enabled. This guy should win this, but it's going to be close with the poison. We got it. AP build.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Alright, so we try to kill Elysian as he comes out of his jungle.
Shut down.
This is kind of absurd. This is still with the low cooldown or the low respawns, by the way. Until level 9, we're gonna have really fast respawns where any amount of like forcing them to recall and come back is actually profitable for us as far as total amount of time on the map with experience. Twitch is certainly going to be the biggest benefactor of all, so we're going to try to keep that up. Missed the angle. Alright, we've got this. I didn't get my ult off. That's a huge punt. I don't want to help him with that. That's just a freebie. Those are the ones we're trying to avoid. But now we've got this Zazak Realm Spike, and I think we're going to be really, really happy about this. That's a big hit. You should always WW after you hit someone with your E. Oh. I missed. Oh, did I? Did I? Level 11, baby! Dead. And Dark Harvest? Not Dark Harvest? Okay. It's still going to be enough. We're going to win every poke war for the rest of the game, by the way. And this is where it's going to come into play, right? If Kog'Maw is viable as a double AD carry counter pick, it's going to be doing something like this, where you just in yourself as a support, you're still going to get Zazaks. There's nothing they can do to stop that. Your Malignance poke is better than their Ash Varus poke. And at the highest level of play, they can just dodge everything. So there's going to have to be another element to it. But that's where we're at right now. Got you. All it takes is one animation for you to get a little bit scuffed here. The poke is real. Whoa. Look at that poke, guys. Didn't get it. What a guy. I should have gone this way. I also should have asked my team to come push with me. Graves was on farming mode. He's moving backwards. We could have moved back. You know, that was pretty far ahead. Again, this is all about limit tests and like how much can we actually do, and then we can make informed decisions later about what we should do. So for example, I really want this blue buff, and this might just be a testament to like mid lane Kog'Maw just being good.
Enemy has been slain.
Got you. shoot. That's a jungler, by the way, guys. Uh-oh.
An enemy has been slain.
This is not even level 11, right? Hello. Am I just dead? That might have been for not enough gain here. In fact, you know, we'll assume definitely not enough gain. What other things could we try to be doing? I mean, we could try to burn. I think slowing makes the most sense. We already have a big slow on our table, though. Burning would keep us in combat for longer. It would allow us to get that siege to really, really stick. We could also go with void damage, but we don't have resistances yet, but we would be future-proofing a bit if we did that. I'm just going to level this up because the mana has not been significant recently, so we can just have that. And I did miss leveling it up in the middle of one of my E's I was going to hit. Well, that was like incidental damage.
An enemy has been slain.
What do you think? Viable? Not viable? Alright, we're going to start controlling this part of the map. Sazak's going crazy, baby. I don't think I'm dead. Calculated. Gonna lay that down in the correct rumble so you guys can see what a rumble should look like. Alright, my first recall of the game. Is this really my first recall of the game? Whee! Now, spells. Boom, we got 1600 versus 1500. Nice. That guy's dead. We go do this. Oh, we don't have our Twitch. Never mind.
Rampage.
I should be turning on my W, by the way, for the long range for being able to kill these wards. You want to go through that choke point against me? Oh. What? That was connecting? Boom! I'm super curious to see the damage charts at the end of this game, aren't you? I don't need this. I don't need that to win this game. This game is going to come down to damage. There might even be a world where like transitioning into Nashor's Tooth might even be right. They could have ended right there. Oh, Grace did come in. My bad. I didn't see. Whoops. I'm so sorry. That's a kill. Alright, we've got our Leandries. We're going to be burning.
An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Animal strat. This is the true animal strat. Kog'Maw and Twitch bot lane. Fnatic's got nothing on this. Just clearing this quickly so we can go for this. Put the mental stack before you put the ward down, right? Make them look at something. Alright, looks like we have a dragon that we have full prio for. So I'm just going to put this here, and I'm going to start working my way this way. That should give us enough vision of what's going on. Let's check some bushes. Look at this insane range. Oh. She says, get me out. Get me out. Triss, they can go for that kill. This is not a macro win. She's already dead. We don't actually need this. What we need to do is make sure that the other 3 people on the team are not. Can I stay out of vision? I think I got spotted there. Ooh, cancel my own animations. That's because I don't have attack speed naturally. Alright, we're just gonna fix this up here on the top wave.
An ally has been slain.
Real right quick. One shot this wave, never even show on the map. Get that turned around. Then we start looking at potential for a Baron. This is gonna start slow pushing out. We've got the level lead, plus it's on our side. Ooh, but we're missing a melee. I missed that. I did miss that. Okay, let's see. Where do we not want them to have wards? I think that'll be comfortable, and we'll be able to live with those 2 things together, and that means that we want this ward. And I'll just hold this area for my team. This is free whenever we want it. Boom. Because it's stacked on our side, we're still stacking. This is perfect, dude. This wave, if left alone, will be their demise. I don't think I even need to die here. Is she dead? Oh, woo! She's not dead, even with oh, what's her face show up in time for this? Gnar is. Got you. Bro, this is my turf. You don't get to go here unless I decide I want to share with you. They just ward over my... I'm dead and I don't even care because it's going to maximize my damage to them. Not even, that's not true. Extra auto attacks will always do more, but like the hell that they have to go through. I mean, ideally, I'm not even close to dead, right? I just want to poke and stay alive. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Woo! Bounce. All right, now we have to future-proof ourselves with a Blightning Jewel. We'll of course go Crypt Bloom because we are the support. Tristana's trying to split push her way to a victory, but she's going to split push her way to a loss. And all right, that was a hell of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We're going to keep doing this. I don't think I can say anything. For a couple another days. Apparently STFU numbnut to someone who was being a complete numbnut was too much. Get to here. Alright, can I snipe this guy from off screen? Yes! I don't know if it's enough. It's probably not. Oh, baby. That damage, guys. That damage is unreal. Right here, if you want to get a ward down, get it in between the gates whenever you can. Dead. That guy's dead. Oh, maybe not. I have to in here. Oh, baby. This guy's dead too. Oh, he dashed. Still got the hit on Caitlyn. Wait, does that not proc here? Dealing damage with abilities. Is my passive not counting as an ability here? I suppose it might not. It should. I don't think it burned him. Folks, what's going on?
Rampage.
We're gonna ghost. This guy's doing the right thing, clearing out the area, making sure that we're not spotted here. Not just sitting on this thing for no reason. Bush checker extraordinaire, folks. Oh, I forgot about the trap. I'm a numbnut. I'm a complete numbnut. That's a limit test. I do want to see. I know the play's bad, and it's not important to me that it's bad. My teammate's pinging Elder Dragon. Oh, he's saying let's use Elder. Yeah, fair. Let's use Elder is 100% the plan. Storm Surge, that's another ability that I haven't thought of. Shadow Flame might be more damage than Horizon Focus, honestly, guys. Revealing them. Dealing 10% extra damage. I mean, Shadow Flame definitely has that covered on top of the extra ability power spell pen and the crit. That was funny. Can't wait to see the damage charts. Cannot wait. Hey! And I didn't get an ignite. That's my own misclick. And I've baited the Gnar into this now too. Alright, I'm going to fall off on the damage charts. Too much downtime. 19 deaths, maybe a little too many. Elder is gone, and all of their inhibs are up. So we actually have no notable extra combat. I mean, we have the 4 dragons, but it's the least combat intensive proc, especially since we don't have heals and shields. And the tenacity pretty bad against them in general. So like, this is about the worst soul it could possibly be. So the extra stats here are fairly meaningless. Also, none of us are tanks, so we're not using this. Cloud Dragon is a little bit of an effect. That's it though. That's all we're looking at. Jumped right away. There. That one we could have expected. 4.5 items. Even though we're full build, it's not going to come close in the all-in. We have to get way more poke down first. Jump. That works. We should finish this kill. That's an easy one. Great idea from Tristana, but you ideally time that with Lee Sin coming in. Nice job. We have hit the 20 death spike. Unfortunately, we're already full build, so it's not like we're even spiking off this. We've also been 18 for a bit. Sorry, we're not. We're 15. I've been looking here since I'm Kog'maw. We are 15. Everybody else has outpaced us. We haven't even gotten to our level 3 ultimate, which is when this whole build Horizon focus in particular is supposed to pay off. We are still 5v3, so we should just move in together. Wait for us. Wait for us. This is fog. Saving his ultimate. I dig it. I am not that guy. Why are we dead again? We push the minions here. They're already getting pushed. We should have dealt more damage to them, make it hard for them to fight back. This is the most disjointed. It's like everyone wants to have their own plan for how to end this. And unfortunately, everyone limit testing means we're probably going to lose this game. They're going to get all the gold here. Twitch was stepping back, even though we could have gone in. Could have gotten the win. Now we're playing for another Elder. Remember 6 minutes ago when we were just like, yeah, we'll take Elder, whatever. This game could have been over 10 minutes ago. What if they report me for intentionally feeding? I'm not intentionally feeding. They can go ahead and do that if they want. And again, we'll check out with the damage at the end. You know, if I'm lowest damage in the game, then you know, go for. I'll report myself, and I won't play it. We've spent way too much time dead, though. That's for sure. But that's largely because, like, you know, teams doing weird things. I want to try to incentivize, and I'm using this opportunity to limit test as much as possible. Right? This is an interesting game state where we're at level 18 across the board. Did that just cancel my second spell with 1 Banshee's Veil? They have to deal with their base. They can't even stop this. This thing deals too much damage to me with the extra stacks of Dragon Slayer. That did hit. Banshees is back up. Man, Banshees is broke. We're just abusing the map, by the way. Just this map right here. Again, more trades whenever possible. Get some practice, because, like, this is a weird champion, right? There's no other champion that gets to play at this range in the game. Skip Elder, end game. Bam! Nope. Just end, please. There's literally one champion alive. We don't need an Elder to win the game. It's not even... Yeah, come at me. Where's the, I'm coaching. What does that mean? So, I mean, this is where we pay the dividends of having the, like, cut down and whatnot, everything. You know, we are the squishy. Why would this guy zone this right here? Now you just can't end. And now Twitch is stuck doing this thing by himself, which you can barely do. The way this works, by the way, you get 7% mitigated damage to dragons. Every dragon has resistance based on the number of Dragon Slayer stacks. You can see your Dragon Slayer stacks right here. You have 4 stacks of this effect. I don't think the soul counts as a 5th one. I think it is just the 4. Yeah, ending was clearly the right call. Twitch, you know, congratulations on the play, but we would definitely prefer to be ending right now. Now we're dealing with potentially, like, champions that have gotten big enough. Remember how buried this Caitlyn was? Might still buried enough? Yeah, Twitch wants that hero moment, we can tell. I actually don't like Leandry's here. The burn has not been great. Rylai's, I think I would like more.
Shut down.
How much does this even deal right now? 583? Jeez, that's not nothing. That is a fresh ward, mon frere. W should be on cool. No, it shouldn't. He didn't have to ward up. It's just up, and it was the ward that we already knew about. So he's got that. We'll let our teammate know that he doesn't have this, though. But it looks like that's going to be the end of this push. We've got waves in the right spot, but that should be the end of this. Oh, beautiful play by Gnar. Block. There we go. That's the Zhonya's you want. Unfortunately, goes right into the Lux damage. Storm Surge rocking it up. No! Oh, good double dodge. The Gnar ultimate means he throws him away. Spicy. We lost track of our Dark Harvest procs. This guy jumped ahead of me. Leapfrogged even. We were in such a nice spot. The funny thing is we were ahead by so much that even just the random damage and the random plays is still going to favor us. But that being said, like, all it took was one ace for this to go down and for them to siege on our butts in the mid lane. Well, be burning. I'll ping it for posterity's sake. Woo! GG cringe bot. Oh man, I'm so happy that Caitlyn did not have a good time. That's the goal. That's the goal. Accelerate our build, stymie theirs, and then move around the map. Not care if you die. Super high tempo. We could have been moving to other lanes, although then you run the risk of other people getting upset that what you're doing is kind of like griefing, like, why are you dying in my lane? That's the one I want. All right, moment of truth. We got passed. We got passed big time. All right, is there a possible way to do this like at a certain stage in the game? I guess we'd have to just look at the replay, right? I don't know if we'll be able to look at this in game the way I want to. Oh man, Andy, if you're here, this is a double KO, right? Man, this is probably a triple KO. 137 deaths in a 41-minute game. That is over 3 per minute. My goodness. All right, so this is the point we want to check up on. We'll do it at this moment that I'm dying to Caitlyn. At this stage, can I look at Dark Harvest? I don't know that I can even look at Dark Harvest. I can click on me. 15 stacks. 9 stacks. Okay, 15 stacks at 16 minutes, by the way. Premium. That is an insane scope. Probably something to try to play for in the future. I did not like this Horizon focus. It might be okay in some situations, especially if they have anyone that can go camouflaged or invisible because you reveal them in that time. Someone like a Kali in the cloud, you just full on reveal, right? Should work. Damage dealt 333, moves through. Yeah, I don't know that I wouldn't have preferred like Shadow Flame here. Even though it doesn't have the shield passive it used to, which would have been good against Lux Lee, but I think Shadow Flame was probably the highest source of damage at this point. Still have to consider what Nashor's Tooth might do with the Q. Q giving attack speed kind of blank on this build. W does give that range, allows us to hit from further, whereas Q is just kind of like one hit up front. It is the biggest source of damage to them. Like if they're coming for one hit, I want more points in Q as opposed to points in W. In that short trade span, you can see how quickly I was dying in some of those endgame scenarios. Cut down definitely did work this game. Even against a squishy team, we were by far dealing the most damage. But yeah. This is where Lee just beat me up, right? This Lee was dashing circles around me all game. So like right there, not a good death. Those are the ones that I want to avoid. Okay. This stuff's fun. Let me change this to that even work as a URL. Yeah, there we go with the live. All right. Thank you. Next. I suppose we should be doing it like this. All right, Vayne or Kog'Maw, chat. Vayne or Kog'Maw.
Art can shed light on our fears.
She's playing Lulu too. It's usually one that you'd like to have. Alright, so we know the damage that the on-hit build can do. What we're going to start looking at is AP and how it works into late game team fights. The problem with that is that pro teams are much more likely to play front to back and have a stagnant, stalemate. That doesn't happen so much in these games. There's going to be a lot more skirmishing, so it's going to show worse than what it is. Alright, let's see. For poke build, and maybe what would have been better over time is going to be Arcane Comet. Something like this. We can go with Cheap Shot. This is going to be the most damage. We need to keep attack speed for the laning phase. The spell effect is better over time, but attack speed is going to be more damage up front. It's also going to get us to be able to push the wave, get that first advantage. I don't think we need to do anything else with this. Absolute Focus. Celerity. Move speed seems pretty good right now. Transcendence scales really well. I tend to want to be here, and often I'm going Nimbus Cloak as well on someone like Vayne. Here I think I need Mana Flow Band, so I'm going to be cognizant of that. Let's see, we've got Echo mid, Zac top, Misfortune Smolder, probably a support Misfortune, which is actually kind of scary. That damage can poke pretty hard early, so if we go with the flat health, we should be okay. Late game, does that mean we're going to pop to Echo? I don't think it matters. This is heavily magic damage, especially if that's a support, which means that Wit's End would be in the cards if we're playing on hit. As far as, let's see, we've got Burst and a certain amount of DPS with Lee and Akali here. Lulu certainly lends herself for me to play on hit builds. I think we just have to play on hit, and we can play Wit's End. The question is it Wit's End first? It might be. It might be Wit's End first. Orc will be important for taking out a Mumu Zac later, but Zac shouldn't be appearing if he's a top laner here. Spacebow, I wish I had you, man. This Lulu's been banning Vayne since season 2, apparently. Which I respect. I will be banning Way for the foreseeable future, so I respect that. Alright, it is a support Misfortune with a Comet, so we're just going to have to poke this thing out. Now, one of the things, whether or not to give up on one or the other, the Doran's Ring gives you tons and tons of harass. This is something that was tech on Smolder to go Doran's Ring into Fleet Footwork, using Mana Flow Band and Presence of Mind to poke. They've since rearranged some of the skills for this champion. It's not as good, but it is better to max. This is similar to the thought process that we're looking at with the Kog'Maw here. Now W would be our like all-in advantage, but I think Misfortune, between the two of them, they can slow us enough that we're not actually looking for any kind of all-in threat. It is a little bit obnoxious to deal with this Fleet Footwork, so we may want to go after Misfortune instead. I really want to be able to transition into this mid-game, like the idea, the same concepts behind the Kaisa, which would be something like Manamune, Nashor's Tooth even. You could go Manamune, Nashor's Tooth, and then go for the long-range poke, something like Malignance. I don't know. Manamune Malignance feels like I'm playing Corki. Take some more. Now we zone her off the minions. Oh, hit them both. That's right, baby. Kog'maw did, Houston's looking. We're gonna in for this. This is actually not optimal for the way I wanted to push here. Stacking waves. We can actually let 2 waves stack up. No. Oh, that's too bad. Alright, we can just leave it the way it is. Yeah, no, I want to push. We could have left it completely. You know, left them completely high and dry. With no real options for how to get out of this situation. And then it would have come back to us with that big lead. Took too long to try to do it. Cleared this out. We went for the plates and the wave, and I used my E suboptimally for that kind of situation. Alright, it's big decision time, isn't it? Slow. I mean, it's got to be here. Alright, we're going to be a little bit... We're going to test some stuff out. Obviously, the slow shop suboptimal means we're going to miss this cannon. I think we might have missed it anyways by a little bit. This is the penalty. We end up paying what we got. It's not bad, but it's not optimal, right? We could have gotten more by just recalling faster. That is the general pattern. We do have a shop active in our hands right now, so it's slightly better than them, but... Oh, Lee, don't turn around, my friend. I don't care if they see us, man. It does not matter. We zone them off. This is a bait. This is a bait. I'm just going for maximum damage here. I should have moved up for that lead, for the misfortune. That's too bad. That's too bad that we couldn't communicate to this guy right away what we wanted. No. He just inted himself, right? Not keeping track of cooldowns, not keeping track of what they have available. But that's okay. It is what it is. Again, we don't care about the results so much as we care about, like, getting some information about mid-game. Obviously, you can have a weaker laning phase when you're relying on spells. We're still in the, like, spell casting phase of laning, where the person with the best spells is the one who's going to have the best time in the lane. Yeah, we don't want that. We'll start setting up our slow push. Kali's hunting, so actually we might try to speed this up slightly. We want to make them come to us. If she's patient, this is a free kill. Alright, we can turn it into a slow push into a crash for the dragon, that's fine as well. I don't think I like this. 3 points in the E. It's going to be very nice for later. That's very nice for us that the cooldown's gone. We did hit with our own comet. I missed. That guy's dead. Keep fighting. No assist. No problem. Be alright. One more. Ay, so close. Literally, if that thing starts aggroing on this one, then this wave comes back to me nice and easily. Slow pushing to me, we get to poke them out. Nothing happens, and we're completely overpowered in the lane. As such, it's going to be slightly pushing back in as these melees die. All it takes is for this one nod to happen. It's not as good as it could have been, but it's fine. I'm almost level 6, which is going to be my peak poking time. We're going to try to go E into Q whenever we can. That might be slightly too early. I'm taxing myself a little bit too much here. It is going to be at the moment where they're likely to want to come back, right? Like recall, reset. So I don't know that there's any like maximum amount of punch that I'm going to take here, but I probably could have been just as fine with the extra, you know, waiting the extra second for the 100 HP. Unnecessary risk there playing for the Amumu. That is a flash from Smolder. This is definitely the place to play around. And I need to get myself out of that mindset. That was support mindset. I need to turn that off. Self-ult. She missed it. It's gonna be really tough now. Akali's gonna have to be really good with everything. They don't have vision. Smolder's got no flash. I'm gonna ping that. Alright, Smolder with no flash means I might be able to push through here. I missed. Missed again. We also didn't go man immune like we said we were going to, huh? This is not a good recall. gonna try to get a little bit stronger for the dragon fight. Wave gets pushed up. Misfortune's gonna be a little bit weaker, low on resources. This is the tempo that I'm going for. Would have been slightly better on a cannon wave. They are going to feel obligated to push it, and they may even continue forward, which means Lee Sin might have an angle to come at them, which it looks like we will get. I have Ghost, not worth very much, so I might actually just go for the in play here. I've baited out the spells. No, Lulu, go, go, go. Oh, baby. Gotta let the team know, like, we're coming, right? Where they've kind of left us hanging a couple times. We're giving up a lot of farm to do this, guys. Probably way too much. Thoughts? Hey, I'm so sorry. That guy's dead to the turret shot. Whee! All you, baby, all you. For that. No, this is physical damage, right? Yeah, physical. That guy still has a shutdown after that? That is a big slow, folks. That is a big slow. I did not take into consideration like how big of a slow that really is. We need the mana too. This is noticeable. What a whiffer. Alright, we've got our Gnasher's Tooth. Very late into the game. We did not go for Mirror Mana, which means I think we have to rule out on hit. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's still there, but Gnasher's Tooth is clearly going to be for that, like, magic, poke, long range. Big damage. Dead? I ran out of mana. Dude, I am running out of mana left and right here. I think we found a first major flaw in this build path, apart from the 5 deaths. Yeah, that's what I thought. They like to have wards down here, don't they?
Legendary.
Can try to bait this right here. It's not what I wanted. Also missed my E, didn't I? That E might have killed the Echo, honestly, with that amount of damage. Can't really offer much. I do have one big AoE spell here.
Killing spree.
Spellcaster extraordinaire. AD carry is, this day and age, it's a position to get other lanes fed, yes? Alright, what do I want to do next? Is it Malignance? I can definitely feel that I don't have the mana. Is it tier into Malignance? I don't know. Can it be too late to stack something like Mirror Mana? I don't know if I want it for all the AP ratios. Probably just want to stick with what will get me there safely normally. I don't know that I want this. Right, so this would be AP Kaisa. Any amount of poke is going to hit. And it's still going to shred. We'll try it like this. You know what? We haven't built this in forever. See what we can do with it. The problem is, as the way I'm farming, it's probably going to unload the stacks in ways where it's hard for me to maximize the poke damage. We also need to hit level 11 badly here. That ward will be enough, honestly. Nope, not quite. Shared. Counting cooldowns. There's Zac jump. Misfortune ult. The damage is high enough across the board that we can go for this. I'm going to use the cutoff. Supporting the Lee Sin, folks. And he's a Baron knower? Of course, it's too low. Alright, we want this. That should have been, let's see, this should be a far side alteration. I don't want to leave though. I want to get the majority of the pushing going. Silence pushing in one lane, Akali's in another. We can go 1-3-1. I'm going to give my team the Q. Three people bought, one person dead. That leaves Misfortune here alone. Can hit her with everything I can. It's not nearly enough, obviously. It's gonna hit. Ah, it did hit. I wanted to test that range. I wasn't sure about it. Honestly, the W is there, and it's a spell. I don't need to get hit by that. Mid gap. I thought Echo was their best player. I might be crazy. Lulu, good stuff. I don't know, guys. This is hella fun. That felt really weird, though. That felt way too weak at the Nashers spike. Manamune could be used. You can go Manamune Nashers into like Rageblade and go that build. The on hit certainly gives us more effectiveness when we are connecting, but it makes the spells like kind of worthless. But the on hit damage, you know, the wave clear, it's okay. Clearly, it's much worse than with the Malignance. Yeah, bro, you're insanely good. Love it. I love it. You came to bot dive. You lost control of wave. You saw it. They don't spare from north. And I've just support pick. I say this immediately, you know, tongue in cheek, but immediately after playing Kog'Maw support. But you know what? Kog'Maw can die. Kog'Maw deals more damage. Kog'Maw has a better AoE slow. I rest my case. Kog'Maw's strictly better than Misfortune. Misfortune's one thing that she got brought into the environment for was because she one-tapped Misfortune plants, and that was for the Season 6 World Championship, where Rox brought that out, and they disguised it so well that they made it look like it was a draft blunder, and that's how they won their 2 games against T1 in one of the most fun series, probably at that point the most fun series I'd ever seen. And that was cool because Misfortune said when you hit a new target, essentially hit it twice, and plants would function that when you hit it, they would basically immediately die to a Misfortune effect. Not only that, but your Q would just instantaneously double up off of it. That effectiveness is gone. She's not even a Zyra counter pick anymore. She's just a bad support that made it into the meta, and it's like that's the level that things can trickle down, where it just, you know, sprinkles its way down and something gravitates or something has enough gravitas where people hold on to it and they're like, yeah, this is sweet, this is a lot of fun. And you know, it's interesting that we get that. But that means that we have Misfortunes in our games as supports, and it's a complete waste of a pick. I bet the Misfortune win rate is close to the AFK win rate. No joke. If you don't win the game immediately, which you might, you have a strong lane phase. Like, let's be honest. They've even referenced it in the patch notes, so it's not like they're trying to get rid of it. In fact, they're trying to do more. All right, so first thing is you can't just combine these 2 items. You basically just have to go Luden's Companion for the AP build. But at that point, why aren't you just doing? Yeah, look at this. Leandri's 27% win rate. I'd literally rather be alone in my lane. Look how bad this is. At its best is 43%.
Art can shed light on our fears.
All right, we're going to continue this journey here. Now, let's see. We have Wukong Malphite. They might need us to be more of this front to back, but at the same time, again, playing this same style, if you're like Kaisa and the AP build's going to be okay there, you're going to be fine here because you can chunk people out, make the job easy for Wukong Malphite Quinn to be able to dive in. Other thing we haven't tried out is Conqueror. Conqueror is not going to get any scaling on the passive or anything, but it does give us some of that sustained poke. I don't think it's going to be more than Comet, especially with Comet being an auto hit on the E. This is very much a testament to this build and just going full poke. I felt not having the mana, actually felt not having it. So I'm curious whether or not I should try to go somewhere else. Maybe even go something like this. Be able to clear the waves a little bit faster with the Nashor's build. Still be able to one-shot the backline. Triple Tonic's always effective. Get yourself that earliest spike. We have a Blitzcrank. Okay. So now we just got to figure out... what is the optimal mix, right? For Kaisa, it's very easy. I get 100 points to my W and my job becomes very easy. I just hit you with spray Ws from long distance, try to poke. Maybe it's the same tool with Kog'maw. The problem is that you don't get that till level 16, that same range. So level 11, you're going to outrange everyone on the enemy team. The E is going to be the same range as your R at max range. So level like 7 and 9, you're going to deal a significant amount of poke. Level 1 and 2, it is also one of the best spells in the game. So you can go up there. But the question is going to be what mix of on hit versus splash damage versus other things we want to go. So I guess we try a Luden's Companion this time and go for the splash poke and see what we can generate with that. If that's going to be the case, we still want to be here. We still want to have a good lane phase. Scorch probably gets outscaled, although it's going to be very nice for the early lane phase. Mana Flow Ban almost mandatory. I think, we're going to try the Luden's Companion this time around. What's up, guys? Tuna Soda on Twitch. Are you a coach? Yes, I'm a coach. And what is my main rank? My main rank changes all the time. I think I'm in Emerald 3 right now. But we've climbed in. We one trick up to Diamond, and we variety play down to, I guess, what used to be Gold. Now it's probably still Platinum, but somewhere in that area when we play variety, we like to limit test, and we like to explore everything that can be done in this game. Have some fun doing it. Why am I coaching others if I'm Emerald 3? Because my brain's not Emerald 3. My hands and my in-game awareness, my ability to latch onto information, is probably at your average silver player. All right, let's see. Do we do Doran's Ring again? We definitely feel how little it hits, but it's almost mandatory for the extra poke in the start of the game. We're going to try to take this game a little bit slower, more traditionally as an AD carry. We saw 2 games ago, just full Dark Harvest, sending it 16 stacks at 15 minutes. Disgusting pig? Excuse you? I'm not here to show off, man.
30 seconds until
Okay.
minions spawn.
Sorry, I can't help you, man. When the pupil is ready, the master will arrive. And if you're looking at trying to get some new information about the game, this is your channel. If you want to see astounding gameplay, this is not it. Go check out TF Blade or Double Lift. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I am the exact opposite of Double Lift. That's my
Minions
upside down world. Andy, if you're listening, what do you think? Is that the anti-me? Oh, we don't talk. Here we go. How far can we take this to victory? We're going to go for long range poke, and we're going to try to outrange everybody on their team, including the hyper carries, and then try to get them low enough where we can go for a dive with Malphite Wukong. As far as upfront carrying, I would die in almost every situation to these 3 champions anyways, so I'm totally fine with taking this AP build approach. Alright, they're not leashing in the bot lane. Their jungler has a step up on ours with hidden information. Oh my god, I just put that... I missed all 3 of these. I'm a yapper with no skill. Yeah, it's true. You caught me. I just missed all 4 of these. I'm doing it just for you, apparently. I didn't even hit Aphelios with the first spell. Need to get one of these. Let's see, we need one more caster? No, we don't. There's the level up. Oh, nice hook, dude. This guy's got no flash, which means we can in for the kill. No, that's not going to be enough. He's got the potion going, and we don't have ignite on him. If we had that ignite, then we probably have enough. But because he recalls and because I'm going back to lane, you're going to watch this. You guys can watch if you're watching in Spectator. I'm going to come back to a better situation than Aphelios, right? Even though he has a kill, because he has to come back and spend time. If he leaves, he comes back. The recall timer takes him about 33 seconds. I get home guards and I come back. So this is very much like a Bowson Law thing where you can go and get extra benefits off of this. Master Yi comes in for what looks like a punish, right? But we are going to tag on to this. Nope, just missed it. And we're going to be okay. All right, like we mentioned at the top of the show, the E right here, we're not going to level up until we cast it because we want to make sure that it's as cheap as possible. That extra minion dying was the difference between this cannon staying alive and us getting being able to hold this or not. So by doing this, it casts at the lower level, which means that you spend less mana, but it's going to have the effect at the higher level. And Tuna Soda, I will say, if your goal was to distract and detract, then you've done it. I've missed so much. I hope you're happy. I'll try to do better just for you.
An enemy has been slain.
Let's kill. I missed my thing. Let's crank, you got me? I just walked into Alistar range. Alright, Alistar's dead. We keep going on this guy. He's got no flash. Let's crank wins this. It's gonna be close with that healing from the red gun. I don't think he actually has it. Alright, we said we were going to go mana mute or we were going to get tier. So now you're in a tough spot, right? If you're Aphelios, what do you do here? Do you try to recall onto your turret? You've got Wukong coming in for a crash. He can use decoy to drop aggro, re-pick up the aggro, and then come back in. It only takes 1 hit. Doesn't look like he wants it, which is too bad because this guy's one shot from everything. Hopefully we pinged enough for him. But now Aphelios, you know, what does he do? Does he push this out and then leave himself kind of stuck here? How hard do we want to punish this? All right, he has to change his recall timer. I'm going to step up again in 3 seconds to try to get a little more harass. I see Alistar's trying to stop, but now actually my E's back off cooldown. And now he's stuck, right? So even though he's got these kills, like look how much he's losing here. That guy could have W'd me against the wall. He was greeting a little bit. Am I dead here? I just screwed that up for myself. We'd love to get Wukong to come in for this fight. There we go. Headbutt into the ignite, but he gets the level up for the kill. Shit. All right. Let's see if we can go no more deaths. Well played. Thank you. Thank you. But don't you see that how this guy's in a tough spot now? He's got these kills, he's got the assists. Alistar's getting the gold, but now he's in a tough position. Do I try to push this and then have it frozen on me? Do I try to get that extra gold, you know, to try to get the full Noon Quiver on the recall? Or am I going to do... Am I going to sit here, let it get frozen, get my recall, but now he's going to lose all the resources. This entire wave and the next wave is going to die. Make sure Blitzcrank doesn't push this any earlier than he needs to. You can have that one. He got the memo. I love it. You can see the dedicated and the passion. That's right. That's right. Never, ever stop learning, guys. Always push it to the limit and always see what you can do. It's hella fun. It's hella rewarding. And every once in a while, you find that that gold mine, like Gangplank support, and you just ride it all the way. I missed. Shit. And especially for Norms games, couldn't ask for a better strat. All right, an important thing to talk about with Aftershock, with my Q. My Q is going to shred the resistances based on how much you have when it hits. So if you are stuck up with Aftershock, and this is same is true for Trundle. If you steal resistances when they have Aftershock up, then you'll continue. That will continue when they lose their Aftershock bonus, right? So you take that steal. I don't know what I was hoping for here. This means there's a jungler for sure. All-Star wants to die here. That's fine by me. They're trying to trade. I just missed that wildly. How did I miss that? Completely screwed up my camera. All right, do I int for the wave? Do we true Bowson Law right here to get a good recall for ourselves? Maybe. Watch this. He's gonna kill me, and it's not gonna matter. Except when the minions skip ahead and then the aggro changes. That's not good. That's definitely not good. We don't want that. We also didn't kill enough of the wave. We could have waited and tried to go for a couple more chips on the melees before going in. That's a mistake. Straight up F for me on that. But yeah, we can do that better. The idea is still there. So to finish this off, right? I'm going to shred 23% of their armor and magic resistance. If they get the bonus that comes from this, right? That's still going to be gone when they lose their flat amount. It's going to stay subtracted by a flat amount when they lose the Aftershock, right? And they're going to be negative in a lot of cases. Hey. No wards in here. Int for me. He's got flash. Oh, he almost went too fast. I almost got up to him. It's too bad I couldn't get that message across to the blitz. I wanted to keep going forward. He's gonna greed for this wave. Wukong should be able to get this kill then. That didn't do shit. Yeah, you're right. We've misapplied it a couple times. That's why we limit test in Norms games, so that we can put it into effect in ranked games and in pro games, and actually hope to have it do something better than other people have done it before. That's the plan. And you're like, yes, you're gonna int better than it's ever been done before. I can see the thought brewing in your mind, and I appreciate that. And there's definitely something to that, right? This looks weird, right? Weird at best. The problem with this, the way as played right now, there's too much of a trough compared to what normal playing would be, and I could probably just get higher. There's flash. Wait for the resistances. I shouldn't be doing any damage to the Alistar unless he just puts himself ahead. This is upgraded boots, going to be much harder to hit him. We're also out of mana now. Big problem for us. This is going to be our relative weakest spot in the game, by the way. That guy's dead. We got resistances. One more hit. He's got us. No, he doesn't got us. Blitzcrank, you can step forward right there. You got your passive and everything. Get that hit off. Let's see, we go here. It's not going to be nearly enough, not even close. Alright, we're going to try to use this timing here. We're not trying to use Ingenious Hunter, but there is a Lichbane Ingenious Hunter kind of stacking that you can do with these alternators to try to get the maximum amount of damage here. Big payoff. Love it. We're going to cover mid. We're going to have Malphite push this wave. We'll cover this because he's coming over. He doesn't have his teleport. His Malignance is being used. That's phenomenal. That's exactly what we want from this situation. Level 10 versus 7. He's also fantastic here. Probably would have been worth it to try to actually poke the Azir here. What I should be doing, whenever possible, hitting this guy in his animations, which I'm not doing a good job of. Noob down. It happens. It happens. Like last game, we can just invest in the rest of our team. Alright, big question. What do you think is best? If you're playing this Kai'Sa style, this Kai'Sa mid-game heavy poke style, do we go for another spell that gets an extra 50 damage? Plus it has extra shred to help our team out, or do we go for the classic Kog'Maw setup? Honestly, Malphite with Malignance should continue to just boil down on this Aphelios. Last time we went Q, we're going to do it like this time. We should probably, I mean, obviously have to spend much more effort on keeping our spells useful because they're on a long cooldown, and that's really the big like gate on this. Start moving towards the, yeah, it's not even close. He's got another Q up too. That's misplayed by me. Lost track of on this side of the map. Could have just continued going forward, turned this into a free kill on the Azir. Gets nothing out of it. We'd be able to push this because Malphite's huge. But again, we're taking the worst position in the game and trying to spread the love into the other people on the team. It does not matter because of how strong these guys get. That's the theory behind it. We've already got someone here. Quinn is going to respawn and get this, and it'll be fine. Yorick's going to start turning into a little bit of a split push problem. They're obviously going to have a scaling advantage on us, so we want to continue to put as much pressure on them as possible. Blue buff is fantastic for me, but it's also great for the Malphite. That's too bad that I'm not here. If I were here, I could have been turning this fight. This guy's doing more with my own item. Nashor's Tooth is supposed to be better on me than on him, right? That's true. All I can do is get carried. That is literally my only option in League of Legends. Try to kill this Alistar. I missed him on the spell on the backside. We got one. We're back in it. Unfortunately, that means we've reset our gold. But let's see what we do with it. But yeah, that's why if I wanted to climb, and I don't think I'd have much. I'd have problems getting there. I don't think I'd have issues getting to Grandmaster. But it takes a lot of time and work, and if I'm gonna do it, I have to do it on support. I'm not mechanical enough to play anything else, especially with like the hours that I have in variety play. it would be a tough ask to try to do it in any other position. Do you think you'll take you serious as a coach when you're an Emerald player? Clutch went to Worlds. I think that's enough. There's the resistances we were talking about. But that is a huge battle, right? Like, that's a big thing. How do you talk to a team that might only be looking at a front page like that, you know? Who is Clutch? Check out 2019 North American Summer Split. But you're right, that is the biggest thing that I deal with. That's actually why it was super exciting in March to start doing a climbing series and to like try to break down my own boundaries. We always try to grow, right? We're always trying to get the most out of ourselves. Much more important for me to get the most out of other people. These guys are juking everything on me. Little do they know. This should turn into nothing. We get to one-shot the casters. It's not enough to kill the rest of the line. Oh, Malphite had beautiful timing. Max range on his ult. It doesn't realize that he can go in, though. Good peel by Alistar, zoning off in the middle of there. Wukong's going to try to use that as a way to get forward. Nice Q. Gotta be careful. There's a root. You gotta get that E off. That's too bad. Quinn's gonna have problems with this maiden for the rest of the game. I think we still have chances. It's not doomed. Clutch is Dignitas. If you follow Pro, it's Dignitas Gaming. I need to get spells off. Got greedy for 2 spells there, didn't get any. Alright, how are we going to turn this into anything good? Probably not. Might be pretty tough. Zier's got no ultimate. Yorick dies for free. The movement on Aphelios, this guy's, and the Trailblazer here, they've proven that they're able to juke everything, and they're definitely prioritizing it, so that's going to make life very difficult for me to try to poke and try to get anything down in that avenue. I won't say it's impossible, though. So how could I set it up? I could just sit back and wait for Malphite engage. I do want to be the one up in front, but we have to have Blitzcrank right in front of me and Wukong right beside me, Quinn ready to flank. That's going to be a little bit difficult. Quinn's not going to be able to match up with Yorick anymore, but we can play for like Assassin here. Might be nice to get like a Gyros, a Cyclo Sword. Let's see if we can aggro the Baron here. That's ideal. Malphite clearing and coming back to us. This is good macro from him. We can expect probably more. That's a mistake from Yorick players. You shouldn't activate first. You should throw your E. So Quinn should just go and rebound this wave. Yorick is going here. Sorry. Yorick is going down bottom. We absolutely have a window to go for the Baron here. Unfortunately, we're giving up our mid prio for river prio, which isn't going to do much. It's just... Yorick's just going to push and leave, right? All he needs to do is leave the ghouls here. There's no trap. All I need to do is go get the minions. Oh, he is actually walking up with the waves. Okay, great. He dies. We get paid off. That guy deals enough upfront damage. Gonna do this so we can go in, deal the maximum back. I don't think it's gonna be anything consequential though. Trading pressure for Yorick for losing in mid, never good off. Hopefully Yorick was suggesting this to his team. That would be a good use of his time, saying, hey, I'm gonna push up, I'm gonna threaten them, you guys go push at the same time. That would be a really good macro. Clutch was Vulcan, Piglet, but Cody's son, Demonte, Huni, and Lyra. And that was a team that needed some help. And they didn't really know what was wrong, right? It was a team of gamers run by gamers, and they didn't really know what tools were available as far as how to create positive culture. And that's something that Rick Fox brought to the League of Legends scene. It's too bad that he's gone. But it's still something that you see, right? Like TSM clearly needed it. They're sold. Cloud9 is the only team that I really know of that prioritizes positive culture. Steve on Liquid Steve tries to, and he surrounds himself with the type of people that can help in that regard. But I am not convinced that they have that. And especially when your team is full imports, and then you have a NA mid laner, it's an awkward dynamic, right? Like how do you create trust on your team like that? My blue trinket was probably used poorly here. We're hunting in the southern quadrant while Baron is up, which is imprecise at best. So now we very much have to rely on what our team wants to do, because especially if they want to play like this, right? We're bouncing kind of all over the place. I think we just die here. This is no good. This doesn't do anything for us. That's a foul on my part, but we have to consolidate this. This needs to turn into kills right now. If we get 2 kills right off the bat, then we're going to be okay. Keep going this way. Ignore this guy. Ignore this guy. Go here. No, Malphite. Oh no. That's the worst case scenario, right? You have to win. You have to clean up and you have to win the fight. Whew. How do we survive this? It's this champion is has more pronounced weaknesses, right? Doesn't have the invisibility of the Kaisa, doesn't have the other tools that we would normally have to move around in the fight, self-peel, etc. So this build and this style feels much weaker on Kog'Maw than it did on Kaisa. Let's see, we have three casters. This is going to come back to us. They're going to be pushing their waves coming up right now. And it's going to stagnate long enough to push and hold about right there. This cannon wave that's coming up. For the rest of the game, we're post 25 minutes, so it's going to be cannon waves for the rest of the game out. The other downside to this build is the lack of cooldown reduction, right? That's like the 4th cannon we've missed for nothing. Now this slow is not actually going to affect the Master Yi. Malphite a little bit over pushed here. We have the ward in there. Are they going to go to Baron? They might feel like they're a little bit weak for this, but they might not. This is an easy kill for everybody. I don't think there's ever going to be enough here, especially with this wall. No good. Disjointed. Obviously, the fight in the river, we don't want to have a wave absolutely crashing. What you can see from the effect here of a hard crashed wave is all it does is it bounces, it holds on their turret, and then it's going to push back out. Right? So even if Yorick doesn't respond here, their wave is reinforcing right now, right? The next wave is coming up. It's coming up right past the bend. You can tell by this position. So even if nothing else happens, there can end up with 9 minions versus 6. Whenever you have a minion advantage on your side of the map, then it's going to reinforce, and it's going to start pushing. And next wave will go here. Next time it'll be here, and you'll have 12 casters. And the 12 casters makes for a fairly insurmountable difference, right? It just deals way too much damage to the waves. It pushes way too quickly, and even if left completely alone, right, with no champions, it's going to be enough. Got the maiden gold, that's what matters. No reason for Yorick to be pushing this far, none. We have Yumu's here. It's not Cyclo Sword. Five. That is 5 cannons. Careful, Blitz. It's a little bit of a bluff. They don't realize how not strong we are here, but Malphite and Quinn are showing. Still disjointed. We're missing out on a lot of our damage here. Nice. Hit the knock up. Hey, well played, Blitz. Nice job. I'll give him the Blitz. I'll give him the Blitz, huh? Which one will you get rid of, chat? $16 seconds, we want to play for Dragon? Okay. I'm game. Alright, we got Azir to use his passive very defensively, which is going to be good for us. We can hold this territory. Oh, nice shot, dude. This Blitzcrank's on fire. Broke the meditate and everything. Aphelios is dead now. What? Well, Malphite still got him. Oh, he tried to juke it. He probably thought he had it too. Nice damage. Yorick is ending. It's my job to clear. Maybe I should have gone back there to begin with. Kill the maiden. No, he got the second turret down. I should have probably focused on the wave there. I missed with everything. And I left it set like there's a chance that it misses. I should have made it set we have guaranteed efficacy on spells. Make sure Yeah, we're not missing on any of the potential there. Yorick getting both of those down and our base being exposed. We have to be careful of teleports. Is Quinn using a sweeper here? "22 seconds on Baron is going to be difficult." This is also without Malignance, right? Malignance might just be the better build here. More poke, more mana. That does not seem good for us. Yeah, we're going to get this thing angry if they do decide to come by. This is probably just GG. They are not calling for an end here. We're okay. We're alive. Alright. Yeah, Azir's using passive and they're not pushing. They're going for Baron. Okay. You know, choices. Whatever's fun, right? Whatever's fun. This is a normals game. True damage. You're not going to prevent that. But we're far enough behind where I don't think it's going to matter much. Wukong Malphite is coming up, which is the Wombo. But I think we can have a full house of Philios. I got outplayed by this guy. They dodged everything in the lane, which is on me. I wasn't careful enough with my early spells. Means that they were able to get too much done. It also, you know, people are doing some goofy things, but that's why we do it in normals. We're limit testing. We don't care about the result. We care about having fun doing it and seeing if we can come up with some new information. But that's probably enough to tell us that that style is probably no good. Or if we do it, it has to be from mid. Malignant's probably still better. By the way, that was from saying STFU numbnut. That was enough to get that chat restriction. For someone that was, you know, having a tough time. This Blitzcrank was great. This guy was a lot of fun. Y'all had an 80 carry. Sorry if you're upset, Ark, man. You played great. We'll show him some love. And if played normally, maybe we would have even been okay. Definitely too many deaths. This right here, Mirror Mana. I mean, with Kaisa, you're getting benefits from doing something like Mirror Mana, Nashor's Tooth, even Rageblade after that, because you can get the AP procs. She might just be better at everything that Kog'Maw's trying to do. As a support, we totally love it. Super high damage, Dark Harvest to like go crazy with it. Might even go Comet. You know, if you want to be more conventional and go for Comet, Mana Flow, Scorch, and Cheap Shot. But I don't know, there's some promise. All right, let me go stretch my eyes. We're going to take a little break. Thank you to our sponsors, which is you guys. Thanks a lot for supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys. This time's for you. All right, this channel will always be ad free. On this time, please go outside, stretch your eyeballs, stretch your muscles, do something to just change your day up. Right, we always get caught in the grind, especially we like to be in our seats for too long. So get up, stretch, make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. It's good for your mind, it's good for your body, it'll be good for your League of Legends play, I promise. And I will catch you on the other side. Let me see. I'm going to see if my wife's picking up the kids or not. Might be able to get one more game. But either way, I think that's going to be under the stream for today. So thank you for hanging out, guys. I appreciate all the support. I'll catch you next time. Keep it surreal. Peace.